Hey everyone, this is Danielle with the Nature Conservancy's Virginia Coast Reserve here on the eastern shore of Virginia, and today I'm going to be talking about symbiosis. So what is symbiosis? It is the interaction between two or more different organisms living in close proximity to each other. So there are a few different types of symbiosis as seen behind me. Firstly, you have mutualism, which is where the two organisms that are interacting both benefit from that interaction. So a really good example could be between a plant and a pollinator, like a bee. So the bee obviously is getting a food source from the pollen, and the flower is getting pollinated. So they're both benefiting from that relationship that they have together. Another type of symbiosis is commensalism, and that's where one organism benefits and then the other one isn't affected at all. So an example of this could be whales and barnacles. A barnacle will latch itself onto the back of a whale, and by doing that, it's able to move around wherever the whale moves and get different food sources where it goes, so it's benefiting. But the whale doesn't really mind that it's on its back, so it's unaffected that the barnacle is just hitching a ride for free on its back. And the last type of symbiosis is parasitism, and that is where one organism benefits, but the other one is actually harmed. So a really good example of this would be between a white-tailed deer and a tick. So a tick will latch itself on to a deer, or anyone really, and they can latch themselves onto us as humans. And that becomes their food source. They feed off of that. But the deer is harmed with that bite because ticks can carry a lot of diseases with them, including Lyme disease, which they can also spread to us. And that's a disease that could actually stay with that deer for the rest of its life and really harm it and cause a lot of problems. So the tick is benefiting, but the deer is harmed. So I want you guys right now to think of some examples of those different symbiotic relationships, and to help you remember them. I know they're big words and it's kind of confusing and it's a lot to remember. We are going to make our own flowchart today. So all you need is a writing utensil and a piece of paper, and you guys can follow along with me as I make my own. All right, so here's our flow chart that we are going to make our symbiotic relationship with. So at the top, we are going to write, does the organism benefit because of the relationship? So, does the organism benefit because of the relationship? So we're going to put a little smiley face along with this one. And if you say yes to this, we're going to have a yes column over here. And then we are going to ask our next question. So our next question is, does the other organism benefit too? Does the other organism benefit too? So if they do benefit, we're going to draw a smiley face. And if you answer yes to that, you have mutualism. Put two smiley faces because both are benefiting. So there is one type of symbiosis, and then we're going to go back up to the top and ask ourselves again, does the organism benefit because of the relationship? If they don't, we're going to say no. We're going to ask the question, is the other organism killed? So is the other organism killed? So we're going to draw a little dead face with that one. And then if you answer yes to that, you have predation. So that's where one is benefiting and one dies. If the other organism isn't killed, you're going to say no, and you're going to ask the question, is the organism harmed? So is the organism harmed? We're going to put a sad face with that one. So if they are harmed, we're going to put yes, and then that is parasitism, where one is benefiting, but the other one is harmed. So what about if the other one isn't harmed? So we're going to draw a no, And then we have commensalism. I'm going to draw a happy face and then an unaffected face, because that is what commensalism is. And there you have it, your very own flowchart that you can go through with your different relationships and try and figure out what kind of symbiosis you have.